everyone, welcome to Soul Plus. I am your host, Toony. Thank you for being here. In this video, I am going to talk about one of my beloved sewing machines. It is the Janome Professional HD9 Heavy Duty. That's a long name. This one is my favorite in many aspects. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it in case you're in the market for a new sewing machine or an additional sewing machine. So just to give you an idea of what this machine can do, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I don't really have anything that I don't like about it. I'll think about it. Anyway, the HD9 is a straight stitch only machine. That means it doesn't have zigzag, it doesn't have decorated stitches, it just does the straight stitch. Some other popular models for this type of machine are the Juki TL series, TL 2010, TL 2000, TL 18, etc. There's a bunch of them. And I've heard so many good things about them. I was trying to sew a dress for a baby. My computerized machine really struggled with some thick seams, and that was a problem that I encountered very often, and it really annoyed me. And I heard from people that this type of machine works really well with thick layers of fabric or thick fabrics in general. So I thought, I was just going to look at it, and I came home with it. I love this machine now. It's my favorite. I use it for almost every project. Things that I want to sew quickly, things that are a little, like projects that are a little bulkier, or just most projects work great on this machine. I just love how beautiful the stitches look. It's a little bit different from my computerized machine. The computerized machine, I have a Juki DX7. It's great. This machine just produces more professional looking stitches. If that's what you want, this machine is a great option for you. Another important feature is that it sews really fast. It can sew up to 1600 stitches per minute. And to be honest, that's just a number. Basically, it sews fast. And as you can see here, I set my speed setting to the lowest speed. And that's pretty fast for me. Okay, just to show you how fast this thing can go. Just gonna lower the needle. Okay, this is at the lowest speed. And the cutter is loud. That's one thing. I don't mind it, but it's loud. So this is that. Now we're gonna try the highest speed. And let's see how fast. I don't do this usually. But okay. For the purpose of demonstration, I'll do it for you. All right, let's go. How about that, huh? I don't want to sew too fast because I don't want any accidents to occur. I'm not at a point in my sewing journey where I'm comfortable sewing really fast. That is just a feature that is highly advertised for this machine, so I just thought I would tell you about it. The main difference between the HD9 and the 1600, which is also a Janome, and there's an Elna that looks exactly the same as the 1600. I think it's produced by Janome. Like, Janome owns Elna now. What the HD9 can do is that it has a separate path for heavier weight thread. So if you sew with leather or vinyl, or if you use heavy weight thread, this machine can sew. And I heard that people are really satisfied with the stitches that come out. I personally don't sew with leather or anything like that. I just use quilting cotton most of the time. Well, as you can see, this is a mechanical machine with some bells and whistles. So it has a button for bobbin winding, and it has a needle up, needle down button, and it has speed control, of course, and it has a thread cutter. Is it called an automatic thread cutter? It's not automatic, you have to push it, but you know, it's like it has a thread cutter. But other than that, it's pretty much a mechanical sewing machine. And it has a knee lift, which if you have never used a knee lift before, oh, it's amazing. It frees your hands, so you can just focus on maneuvering the sewing machine. Is like manipulating your fabric. You don't have to worry about your presser foot, you know, when you pivot or stuff like that. You can just use your knee, but it takes some getting used to for sure. So what I do is that I use my right knee for the knee lift, and I use my left foot, I put my left foot on the pedal. That works really well for me. Just find how it works for you, or if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to use it. Now moving on to what I like about this machine. Oh, there's so many things. Like I said before, this machine creates beautiful stitches. And what do I know about beautiful stitches with my limited experience as a sewer? But you can tell, like, you look at it and it's beautiful. It looks professional. It looks like you know what you're doing, which makes me feel great, because I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. Even though it's a mechanical machine, I never thought I would love a mechanical machine, because I thought, oh, computerized machines are more fun to use. They come with this like futuristic sound, like that mechanical machines don't have. But I have come to realize that because mechanical machines are so simple, you know, there are these knobs. You just turn the knob and it works exactly how you want it to. Like, I really like this stitch length knob for some reason. It's just like when I need to change the length while sewing, it's very easy and it stays that way. You know, in a computerized machine, if you turn it off, you turn it back on again, it goes back to the defaults, and you have to adjust it again, or you have to save it, you know, all that stuff. But here it's like, you can turn it off, go to lunch, come back, turn it back on, and the stitch length, the setting is pretty much the same, except for the needle up, down. When you turn it back on, the needle is going to be up. So I always have to push this so that when I stop sewing, the needle is in a down position, which is not annoying, but you know, it's something that I have to do every time I turn the machine back on. My machine did not come with the extension table. I had to buy it separately, and I bought a set that had this table, which is super nice. If you're getting this machine, I highly recommend getting the extension table and some extra feet, like the walking foot, the narrow foot, the zipper foot, etc. And it's in a set, and it costs like $260, which is not a small amount, but you know, it's worth it. And there's one more thing I need to show you. Look at this foot pedal. It's bigger than my face. How nice is that? It's big, and you know, it's nice. It's big and sturdy. So I like that. Okay. This is another thing that I like about this machine. This is a bigger bobbin, so it holds a lot of thread, so you don't have to change it as often. What I don't like about this machine, I really don't have anything that I don't like. It takes some getting used to, for sure. If you've never used a machine like this, like, it took me maybe like an hour to figure out how to thread the machine, and then another 30 minutes to figure out how to get the bobbin in. At first, the stitches did not come out right, and I had to adjust. Well, my husband helped me adjust the bobbin tension, and then it just worked great. Well, one thing that I don't particularly like about this machine, and I've heard some complaints about it, is the needle threader. It has a needle threader, this little thing. It's a little bit finicky, not the easiest to use, and not always reliable. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. It does have that feature, it's just not the best design. And if you're into free motion quilting, this machine doesn't come with a feed dog drop feature, but you could get a separate, what's it called? Presser foot and a plate that will enable you to do free motion quilting. If you are considering buying this machine new as of 2021, it's very likely that you're going to get version 2 of this machine. So the main difference between version 1, which is what I have, and version 2 is the bobbin. This is the bobbin case, right? I don't know what it's called, but this thing that you put the bobbin in. So for version 1, it's going to look like this. It's like a half circle. But for version 2, which is what's available right now in 2021, it's going to be round. And I've heard that the size of the bobbin is a little bit smaller. Basically, that's the only main difference. Everything else is the same. It had to do with shortage of raw material or something, so they had to kind of adjust the design. That's what I heard. In conclusion, I love this machine. If you're considering buying your first sewing machine, you've never sewn before, and you want to get a first sewing machine, I don't recommend this one, just because it doesn't allow you to try different things. Like you can't do zigzag stitches with it. You know, you can't do decorative stitches. You can't do buttonholes, anything like that. It's like a complementary machine. Like you have your main machine that can do those things, and then you have this one that can do this one thing, but really well and really fast. It's not a travel machine. It's really heavy. I mean, you can travel with it if you want to. I mean, who will tell you what to do, you know? But it's pretty heavy. It has this spacious throw space, so I really like that. If you're quilting, you have a lot of space here to kind of stuff your quilt in here. It doesn't have a free arm, which I don't know. Sometimes I struggle to sew little things like armholes or sleeves or anything like that on this one, but there's a way that seamstresses do it and people who have industrial machines do it. It's just a little bit different. So just letting you know that it doesn't have that feature. One thing that you need to know is that it requires a different type of needle. If you have a normal domestic sewing machine that accommodates for universal needles, the 130/705, this machine requires a different type of needle. It's called the HLX5. So obviously that's going to be a little bit more difficult to find, especially at big box stores. They might not carry this type of needle. Huawei has them, or maybe Amazon. They're a little bit more difficult to find, so I hoard them when I can. But they're supposed to be really good for high-speed sewing. So if you don't plan on sewing high-speed, I have been told you can definitely use universal needles with this machine. Just don't sew too fast. Don't sew faster than you would with a normal, like another domestic sewing machine. And you can definitely use leather needles, like other types of needles. It just depends on the speed. This type of needle, HLX5, is just for high-speed sewing. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I can say about this machine. I love it. I've never used any other machine like this one, so I can't really compare it to like a Juki, for example. But I'm sure that a Juki is great too, and it's highly affordable and it's great for what it can do. This machine, brand new, is a little more pricey. Yeah, but I bought it used and it was a good deal to me. Just find out how much it costs in your area, if this is the right machine for you. If you can go to a Janome dealer and try it, that'd be great. If not, join a Janome community Facebook page, etc., and just gain some insight from other people who use this machine. See if it's the right machine for what you're going to use it for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.